So, 68, you thought it was the end? It was the beginning. You won the Greco Olympic tryouts?
Yep.
And somewhere along the line, you...
Athletes in Action, I sat on my plane there. You would only know this, John, but Pat Triciano was sitting next to me on my plane when I went to Ames, Iowa from California. And he started talking to me about it and everything. He wasn't much interested in me because I hadn't done anything. He was one of the top guys, you know. But we talked about Christ and the Christian life, and I was new in the Christian life, and I didn't understand these these and thous and everything. And then later on, I got a Bible with the new English, you know, version. And so I walked off that plane talking with him about the Christian life all the way there, thinking just me and you, God, and then I end up losing in freestyle.
Lost the freestyle.
And then didn't have any right to win it in Greco and ended up winning it in Greco.
So in a way, it was two beginnings. Another beginning for your wrestling, which could have been the end, and the beginning of a spiritual journey as a Christian.
Yeah, because then Triciano and those guys are interested in me because I won the Olympic trial.
Now they're interested.
Yeah, they're interested.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's how and then I went up to, it was just in San Bernardino, Arrowhead Springs. Went to a conference there, trained there, and decided to talk to my wife and decided that, she said, yeah, I always wanted to be a missionary, let's do it. And so I became an athletic missionary.
So you joined Campus Crusade for Christ, Athletes in Action. They had a wrestling team. They were going to travel around the United States, wrestle, and tell people about Jesus.
Yeah, the two things that as a new Christian, I was excited, I had a lot of zealous. I wanted to tell people about Christ. I tried to do that when I was wrestling tournaments on my own, but I didn't have any tools to do it. And we'd talk about the virgin birth or the heathen in Africa and what about them, and I had no answers other than I was blind and now I see. And then I got some tools from Campus Crusade for Christ and was able to have some great workout training partners and was be able to develop into a pretty decent wrestler.
And once again, Nick Carollo was with you.
Led Nick Carollo to the Lord, brought him on AIA staff. Got John Peterson to go to AIA. Bugged him until he did. He was already a Christian.
And you also worked out with Larry Amundsen?
Yeah, Larry Amundsen.
National champ?
No, runner-up.
A runner-up, okay.
One.
So you had some good workout partners, and you spent a couple of years traveling the country, wrestling exhibition matches with some of the top wrestling schools in the country.
Iowa, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Nebraska. Can't remember all of them, but UCLA, we had 5,000 people there.
10,000.
10,000, okay.
It broke the record.
Broke the record.
That we had previously broke in Oregon, which was 8,000.
Yeah.
Little history for you there, kids. West Coast Wrestling. So you spent a couple of years with Athletes in Action, and eventually you get involved with coaching.
I started the junior elite training system at the Jets. I got involved with coaching young kids. And I had Dan Henderson was one of them, and his brothers. I had a lot of. I had Lawrence Jackson and his brother, and I had the Millsaps, and I ended up having 6 world champions in the cadet age, and then I had a first and a second at the 17 to 20-year-olds, and we actually won the national championship in the 17 to 20-year-olds with all high school kids.
So now we're talking about in the 80s, you're with the American Youth Sports Foundation Jet Wrestling Program. an Olympic training program for kids. 6 to
You were
18.
helping me.
Yes, kids, I was there.
Mostly we ended up with kids 10, 11, 12, and some freshmen. Most of the other guys didn't want to train that hard. We put in 21 hours worth of work from Friday night till Sunday night.
So when the wrestling season was over, the jet season started, and I'll just throw this in. We trained at Camp Pendleton,
Yep.
the San Onofre Gate.
We didn't make any money. We didn't charge the kids anything. It was $9 for the room and board that went straight to the Marine Corps. And after, I think, 5, 6 years, we end up kids maturing and breaking the Marine Corps 5 years their stranglehold on the national championship in Greco-Roman wrestling, and we win it.
The Jets won the state,
No.
the national,
Yeah.
and you could say a junior world title.
Yes, we have.
We had all those world champions. Plus, I will throw this in.
Junior Olympics and Sears Junior Olympics we won that.
Lawrence Jackson, one of our wrestlers, beat an old friend of mine in the Iowa Nationals. He beat Danny Knight, and I think he's the only guy that ever beat Danny Knight.
Yeah.
Danny Knight, as a high schooler, was undefeated, and I think that was probably the only match he lost before he went to college was to a Jet.
And then he came and trained with me again, and he went to the Nationals in freestyle and 10-point at Steiner.
Wow. Let's back up just a little bit. Another guy that was involved in this, who used to come, was a real amazing guy by the name of Terry McCann.
Yep, Terry would come in and help out. Yeah.
Terry would visit us.
John Azevedo would come.
Azevedo.
Yeah.
McCann was an Olympic champ, national champ from Iowa. He moved out here. He was living in Dana Point.
Yep. Matter of fact, Terry Wigglesworth and myself got him started. Became a surf nut. He used to always bitch at me. How can you be concentrated on your wrestling and you surf too? He said, you can't do that both. You gotta. And then he became an advocate for surfing. He worked in the surfing industry and helped them to get organized and get them to do things right business-wise. He's a fantastic guy.
Another guy that was involved with us, Terry Wigglesworth, Central Davenport, went to Cal Poly,
Yep.
Wrestling coach and a surf coach for Dana Point High School. And
I assisted him as surf coach.
and he assisted. Right. Another fellow that kind of popped in and out of there was a football player. And his name was McGlasson, I believe. Am I saying that right?
McLaughlin or McLaughlin? I don't remember.
Played for the, he ended up playing for the Rams, and he got his knees. Ed McGlasson.
Okay.
He stopped in a couple times.
Yeah, we always had, we worked through Sunday, so we took an hour break for church. Doesn't matter what religion you were, and we usually had top athletes, Questus, guys like that. There were Christians come in and talk about how Christ was relevant in their wrestling.
Practice started Friday night. We're at Camp Pendleton, ended Sunday, 3 days. 3 days of pretty intense stuff. 3 practices a day,
Yes.
if I remember.
Hour for lunch, hour for dinner, and we practice until 10 that night again.
Also, the first day, if I remember, 100 kids showed up.
Yeah.
Only 30 stayed. And some of the kids that didn't come back were state champions.
Oh, there was many CIF champions. We had Millsap was national high school champion. Danny was. His brother placed 3rd in the national high schools. Heath Sims was 2nd and 3rd in the national high schools. Who else? So I can't think back all the names. But
Hold that thought for 1 second.